Congratulations, you just bought a new home. Only 360 more payments and it's all yours. When you make such a large purchase, you usually have to take out a loan that you repay in monthly payments. The process of paying off a loan plus interest by making a series of regular equal payments is called amortization, and such a loan is called an amortized loan. If you were to make such a purchase, one of the first questions you might ask is, what are my monthly payments? Well, let's have a look at this. Let's look at the banker's perspective. Instead of thinking about your payments, the banker might think of this transaction as a future value problem in which the banker is making a loan to you now and compounding the interest for 30 years. At the end of 30 years, the banker expects you to pay the full amount due. So the banker is looking at it as a compound interest problem. Let's look at it from your point of view. For the time being, you could also ignore the question of monthly payments and choose to pay the banker in full with one payment at the end of 30 years. In order to have this money available, you could make monthly payments into a sinking fund to have the amount A available in 30 years. So you're looking at it as a sinking fund problem. Well, what we do is we take the banker's point of view, compound interest formula, and your point of view, sinking fund formula, and we set them equal to each other. And if we'll solve this for payment, we'll have our mortgage payment. Let's look at an example. A house costs $120,000. What would the monthly mortgage payment be if a person makes a $20,000 down payment and takes out a 30-year mortgage at an annual rate of 4.75%? Well, let's take a look at this. P, what we're going to finance, is going to be the price of the home, $120,000, minus our down payment of $20,000. So P, in this case, will be $100,000. We're taking out a 30-year mortgage, so T is 30. We have an annual interest rate of 4.75%, so R is 0.0475, and N will be 12. So let's substitute the values we have into the formula. We'll have 100,000 times parentheses 1 plus 0.0475 over 12, close parentheses raised to the 12 times 30 is equal to payment times, open up parentheses and then another set of parentheses, 1 plus 0.0475 divided by 12, close parentheses raised to the 12 times 30 minus 1 all over 0.0475 over 12. Well, the good news is the left-hand side of this equation can be typed directly into our calculator. So we will have 100,000 times parentheses 1 plus 0.0475 divided by 12, close parentheses raised to the parentheses 12 times 30. Whatever number we get here, do not round. This is not our final answer. This is an intermediate step. We don't round until the very last step. Okay, the number we get is 414,617 and 8,671 ten-thousandths. And that's equal to payment times, well, let me move the calculator over here. We've got to take what payment is times and type this into our calculator. And when we did this before, you know, we're going to type the entire numerator in, then hit enter, and then divide by the denominator. So if we do that, we will have parentheses 1 plus 0.0475 divided by 12, close parentheses, raised to the parentheses 12 times 30, close parentheses, subtract 1. We've typed in the entire numerator, so we'll hit enter. And then we're going to divide by parentheses our denominator, 0.0475 divided by 12. And so we get, again, this is an intermediate step, do not round, this is not our final answer. We get 794. And then after the decimal we have 8240.0854. So we have 414,617.8671 is equal to payment times 794, and then after the decimal, or after the point, 824.0854. So we've got to divide both sides by this number that's times payment. On the right-hand side, these numbers will cancel. So what we have to do is take 414,617 and 8,671 and divide by 794.8240854. And you can type it in that way if you want to, but I notice what I'm wanting to divide by is the last answer here in my calculator. So my shortcut on my calculator is I type 414,617.8671, and I want to divide by my previous answer. So if I just push second and then negative, my previous answer will pop up. And when I hit enter, the calculator will do the division for me. And so our payment will be $521.65. Now I need to make a confession. In the real world, your payment will be higher than this. This payment does not take into consideration the money the mortgage company or the bankers going to want you to pay each month, so that they'll have that to cover your property taxes when they come due, and to cover your homeowner's insurance policy. So this payment amount does not include what's needed to cover your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance. But as far as our class is concerned, when we find payments, we won't be worrying about property taxes or homeowner's insurance.